Somebody says, well, God's never spoken to me. Oh, yes, he has. Yes, he has. That's what this book's all about. God speaking to us. And if I'm going through some situation and I want to correct my wavering faith, I'm going to ask those questions and I'm going to get in the Word and I'm going to meditate on it carefully. And I think oftentimes when you do it privately, and I'm going to apply what I read. I'm going to listen to what he's saying. And I'm not going to doubt him because he knows I'm coming to the Word seeking an answer and seeking clarification. But read it and ask it. And remember we said, read it carefully, unhurriedly, and prayerfully, and you read it for God to speak to you. You're reading it very sincerely. God, my heart's open to what you have to say. Then I would say, courageously choose to obey him and leave all the consequences to him. That sometimes it's going to take a lot of courage to trust him. I couldn't tell you enough how awesome it is to trust God. And to think about that you're living your life without him, let me tell you, it is foolish. It is a disaster. You're suffering for things you would don't have to suffer for. You don't have what God would provide for you. He's a great God of goodness and love and mercy and kindness and generosity to his children. If you've never trusted him as your personal Savior, nothing I've said is going to work for you. It's when, first of all, you come to grips with your life and recognize that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, whom he sent into this world in your behalf and mine in order to die on the cross. And in doing so, he took all the sin of all humanity placed upon him and condemned him, condemned him with the death that those without him would suffer one day. But he only suffered it for that short period of time for all of us. When you're willing to ask Jesus to forgive you of your sin and tell him that you're trusting him as your personal Savior, you're not trusting in your goodness. You're trusting him as your personal Savior. You're believing that his death paid your sin debt in full, asking him to forgive you, receiving him as your Savior, your Lord and your Master. The moment you do that, he's willing to forgive you and set you on a whole new path. And the path I'm talking about is the path I've just finished talking about. It's the walk of faith that you'll be